What's going on, guys? It is Birdsinthetrap MMA, and I'm back with another banger. Alright, today we're going to be going over the ploddiest fighters in the UFC. And I feel like each fighter kind of has their own definition of ploddy, right? But when you think of ploddy, you're thinking of heavyweights, right? You're thinking of the guys on this list, alright? And I think as we go through, you guys will understand. I'll make my case for every fighter, why they're ploddy. And this should be a fun one, alright? So, first things first, let's put the camera up in the corner, and let's jump right into the list. We're starting off with a classic that, even if you knew he was going to be here, we got to talk about him. How can we not talk about Jamahal Hill when talking about ploddy fighters, alright? This dude, his last 3 fights, and even before his losing streak, he was a little ploddy, alright? Goofing and gaffing against Roundtree for 5 rounds straight. Literally in there smiling, laughing, just coping when he's not landing. Just, alright, Like, bro, you can do that, but you have to land something, and he just didn't, right? And that was extra annoying because I want to say I picked Jamahal Hill. Terrible. And then he comes out with the knee pads on against Yuri Prohaska, which, if you see a fighter with the knee pads on, live bet on the other guy no matter what, alright? Because when he came out waddling in those knee pads, crossing his feet against Yuri, you just know. And crossing his feet against Pereira, hey, I don't even know if he was crossing his feet against Pereira. I just had to put something for the Pereira fight, right? But even in there, he was kind of blobbing around. He was kind of just, kind of smiling a little bit. He is the true GOAT of this topic. No one's going to outplod Jamahal Hill. Alright, he still has that belt, and he's never lost it. So, with that being said, let's get on to the next fighter on the list, who is Aiemann Zahabi. Aiemann Zahabo. Ariel Helwani. Ariel Zahabo. Alright? This dude is number 6 in the division. I think. I'm pretty sure he's number 6. Isn't that crazy? He beat Cheeto and Aldo, and they were like split decision losses. Nah, he could have won those fights, but they were close, alright? Now, when I think of ploddiness for Zahabi here, I'm not thinking of him as like a heavyweight plodster, right? I'm thinking of him getting kicked in the face, dropped, and finished against Jose Aldo, and then getting up and just running into him, just plodding forward. So yes, he has movement, he has head movement, he has footwork, but he is ploddy when he does all of it. Alright, this is just what I think, guys. This is what I see when he fights. And I'm going to say this about his ranking spot. I think the UFC is putting him up a little higher than he actually should be for him to lose. They're going to give him someone that they want to win or someone to get up the division. Don't be surprised if O'Malley fights Zahabi, right, for fun. Or if Peyton Talbot fights Zahabi. I just have to say it. Something about him is auraless to me. Like, there's no aura with Zahabi. When I think of a number 6 fighter, I'm usually thinking of someone who's on their way to the top, right? They have aura. They're on the way up, right? Or I'm thinking of someone who maybe is on the way down. Who's been there, done that. Has that aura. But Zahabi's just number 6, and he's like 37, and all these fights are split decisions, and they're kind of boring. It's a really interesting case here with Zahabi. Moving on to, we have Diego Lopes. Alright, how can we not talk about Diego Lopes after UFC 325? Lopes has proven me so correct in both Volk fights, and it's weird because when he fights other guys, he doesn't get as ploddy. But it's something about that Volkanovski footwork, that Volkanovski technique, where he is left with nothing but a 1-2 and an uppercut. And guys, please go watch my 325 prediction, at least for this fight. I said it. He's a walking 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, hook, uppercut, uppercut. That's it. And he's plodding. I think Diego Lopes is straight up ploddy. He looked ploddy against Volk for 10 rounds straight. 10 rounds. And just made no adjustments. Alright? I mean, sure, Volk wasn't able to cut him off to his right, but he had no answer for the left. And he's a featherweight. This should be featherweight skill. You should not be that ploddy. And I feel like another thing that adds to his ploddiness is, look, when you realize you're not going to go in there and out-technique Volk at this point in his career, if you're Lopes, you need to just run in there. Just hit him. Just do anything to hit him. And he just didn't. He just plodded. So, Diego Lopes, not against every fighter, but definitely against Volkanovski and probably anyone that's really elite. He's a little plodster, all right? But I do kind of think he beat everyone else in the division. So maybe that's just the gap, and that's just Volk for you. I mean, that's probably what it is. You know, we're big Volk fans over here. But Diego Lopes, definitely a ploddy fighter. Oh my God. I forgot we were even going to talk about this. Take your pick at heavyweight, all right? I mean, I want to talk about the whole division. And you know what, guys? My very first video to get some traction on YouTube was about the heavyweight division. And in that video, 2.5 years ago, I remember I'm talking about how things are about to change. You know, things are evolving. Look at Pavlovich, look at Gane, look at Aspinall. And I think it's gotten worse. Like, especially after Taliesin Teixeira versus Tai Tuivasa. I have no words for this division. They are all just fat plodsters that... I mean, I picked my 5 most notable on the screen right here. You could pick 5 more. And you could pick 5 more after that. And you could, honestly, probably pick 10 more after that. Seriously. I mean, there's, 30 fighters in the division? There's probably 25 of them that are plodsters. Take your pick at heavyweight. I think the ploddiest of them all might just be Ploddyman Blades. It might be Curtis Blades. But if we're going to go just off of unathleticism, you might be looking at Tuivasa or Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is super ploddy. He was doing nothing but plodding and throwing against Waldo. So maybe it's Derek. But the heavyweight division guys, just have at it. They all are ploddy plodsters. Just pick one. Okay, guys, let's talk about the next candidate here, Dricus Du Plessis. We haven't talked about Dricus much ever since the Chimaev incident. And, you know, I do kind of think he lost a bit of that aura. He definitely lost that championship aura. But DDP is still a ploddy plodster. We cannot forget. And he's an OG elite plotter, all right? He was one of the first guys to take it up to the top 5, you know. Maybe not the first, but he absolutely plotted on Whitaker, plotted through Strickland twice, and then just did the same against it. I mean, he has 3 ploddy title wins. It's awesome. I love Dricus. I can't wait to see Dricus fight again. He's honestly super entertaining. But the way he runs in there and, you know, he throws punches like this, like literally like this, you know. It works for him. He will always be on this list. Moving on. Oh yeah, we got a little combo for you guys because they are both in the lightweight division. So we'll just bunch them together. You got Benoit Saint Denis and Justin Gaethje. All right. Both of them aren't all that athletic. And what do I mean? Because obviously they're athletes, right? Can push a pace. But Gaethje... Am I crazy for saying he looked a little potbelly-ish against Patty? He looked in that retirement shape. So I think, you know, whatever footwork and light on his feetness that Gaethje had, I think it's going away. And in that last fight against Patty, maybe he didn't have to do anything different and he could just plod at him. But he was a big ol', just a 1-2 walking at you, plotting forward. Whereas Benoit Saint Denis, he is athletic, but his fighting style still doesn't have great striking defense. We saw against Dan Hooker. So what does he do? He just runs into you. He's, you know what? My fault, guys. I don't know if Benoit should be on this list because he's more of a marauder. Benoit's more of a marauder, but Gaethje is definitely ploddy. Head movement and footwork is not a part of these dudes' game plan, and it probably won't be. So we'll see how it goes for Benoit, and I think we know how that's going to go for Gaethje against Big Ilya. Rest in peace, brother. And with that being said, guys, those are my picks for the ploddiest fighters in the game right now. Let me know who I missed. I definitely think there are some more fringe fighters that you could probably pick for this. Let me know if you guys have any videos you want to see done. I'll make sure to get them out to you. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Peace.